Cryptocurrency mining chip producer Nvidia reports significant profits after a decline. The American chip developing company Nvidia attests to its dip in shares due to the CMP crypto mining process sales decline. The company stated that its 52% decrease for its Q1 of OAM and other investments was because of the decrease in CMP sales. Nvidia stated this as explaining in a filing on Wednesday. In 2021, Nvidia recorded $24 million in return from its CMP sources. This also recorded a discouraging decrease of 77% year over year. Last year, January, the corporation introduced the CMP product to discourage cryptocurrency miners from storing up existing mining devices like Ethereum's famous RTX 3080 Ti. While the chipmaker didn't explain the exact sales amount its CMP sales provided, it did tag the value nominal and over $155 million in loss from the previous year. The company experienced strong quarterly growth from 2021 last quarter to 2022 first quarter, increasing by 8% in returns, thus making up to $8.98 billion. Its shares also increased by 3% to $1.36 a share. In addition, the chipmaker stated that it continue its buyback program, reaching 2023 end, and it's worth $15 billion. Nvidia in the Q2. Nvidia has now been experiencing a steady decrease in interest in the CMP mining chips during this Q2. The reason why is this sentence was a little weird. The reasons why this is so might probably be because of Ethereum's porting to the proof of stake mechanism, the current bear market, or the recently deployed products from industry leader Intel Corporation. We don't know, but we do know that the tech giant isn't experiencing a good time at its current turnover. You know, if they actually wanted to kind of accommodate for this a little bit better, they would release some sort of marketplace for the hobbyist miners to be purchasing CMP products at reasonable retail prices. And this is not something that they are doing that I think is detrimental to that market, because their goal with the CMP devices was to just sell them directly to large farms, and it really dampens their ability to sell them in markets like we're in today. I think that would be a path they could take. That being said, of course, they have to make them more competitive in pricing compared to the non-CMP models, due to the fact that those prices are coming down and the market's starting to get flooded with used GPUs. We've talked about this before. This is nothing new under the sun. The exact same things happened during the last supercycle run and the last bear market with the GPU pricing. And it should be completely expected from Nvidia, TSMC, and so on. And I assume it was because Nvidia and TSMC were both basically trying not to report cryptocurrency mining profitability. However, I think that is also a miss as well, because it should be acknowledged that cryptocurrency mining in general has been a large driver of the revenue for a majority of these GPU companies, if not all of them, basically all of them, Nvidia and AMD, which has driven, of course, the research and development to basically create better, bigger GPUs with bigger buses, which we all like, of course, and so on. So I think that it's kind of funny that they want to ignore it, just because obviously what they don't want is what's going to happen anyways, which is a reduction in their revenue, which will then impact their stock pricing and so on. Q2 isn't starting as interesting as Q1, and pundits project a 4% loss to $8 billion in turnover. During Thursday after hours trading, Nvidia shares decreased by 7% to $157.80. Also, the Nvidia stocks have experienced an almost 50% decrease in year-over-year report. reflecting a poor outlook for tech stocks. During last year's Q2, Nvidia encountered a 33% dip from expected returns, reaching $266 million, then $106 million in Q3, and $24 million in Q4. That value has still fallen. The chip maker revised its expectations for the second quarter, summing it up to $8.1 billion because of the Russia-Ukraine war and lockdown in China. I think that there seems to be a huge distraction and excuse from every single company in existence to blame Russia, Ukraine, and of course the lockdowns and the pandemic, when in fact during the pandemic we saw the largest increase, of course, in profitability for some of these companies, especially chip makers and so on, as they drove MSRP prices up. And so per unit, they were making a ton more. They were also making a ton more off of course, the mining portion of all of that. And when they go down, as opposed to just being completely honest about the real true reasons, they want to go ahead and deflect and blame outside events. This isn't uncommon from what pretty much all of humanity likes to do. Of course, myself included in the past, we like to find some sort of outside source to blame as opposed to basically trying to fix the problem or be honest about what the problem actually is, which is essentially at this point, very clearly the bear market in cryptocurrency impacting their sales significantly on both the CMP side and of course the GeForce side. And yes, the shortage could be playing a factor there, but like I said, that's kind of a moot point based on the fact that they increased their MSRP prices so much to accommodate for that, and everything was still in extremely high demand. The problem that we have now is demand is low and MSRPs have not come down to match that low demand. Nvidia's Santa Clara situated CMPs can be effective for mining Bitcoin. No. Ether, yes, and other digital assets, yes, that use proof of work consensus mechanisms. In addition, the token's graphics card built for gaming can be effective for mining cryptocurrency, except restricted, and they are pretty much unrestricted at this point. One notable fact is that CMPs are very scarce in supply. Even on secondary markets, it's rare to find them, therefore making the chances of sale slimmer and smaller. That's because their entire goal with the CMP line is to sell them in bulk to large mining firms, and large mining firms are hopping out of course, the GPU mining market. You should make those devices available, once again, like I said, to the general public, in my humble opinion, at reasonable MSRP prices that compete with your GeForce series line of graphics cards. Otherwise, you're just going to still have miners at home and gamers at home competing for the GeForce lineup, and you will not be selling your CMP lineup. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.